That's right, people. I can pet my cat while I'm drinking water. Show me a ventriloquist that can do that. Hey, Janine. 11 inches. That sounds like fun. Yeah, luckily we don't get that much snow. A couple inches, that's usually it. And then we're good. Meow. Had to go out this morning and find Flash because it's supposed to get a little cold tonight. So I want to know where she is. So she's in her box right now, so she'll be fine. You got to think about things like that when you got a cold-blooded pet. Oh, I don't know. When we had our little ice storm a couple weeks ago, it didn't get above freezing for several days, so it gets cold. And I think we're going down to like 31 tonight. That's why I wanted to know where Flash was. But yeah, no, we don't get the crazy cold like some places do. Wow. Like I said, it's going to dip down to 31 tonight, and then by Wednesday, it's going to be in the mid 80s. Yeah, Texas can't make up its mind what it wants to do. Thank you. The little girl is my mom, and the little boy in front of her is her brother, and that's my great grandparents. I can actually show you the full size picture here. Hold on a second. Okay, so let's do this. So yeah, that's the picture there. That's my mom in the middle there when she was probably, I don't know, 4 or 5, and her little brother when he was looks like about 1. Looks like her little brother had a little accident there. I don't know, just saying. And then, like I said, my great grandparents. You look at my great grandfather, he was a very tall, thin gentleman, and he's clearly where I got my height because one of his sons was very, very tall, and my mom's cousin, who was his son, was very, very tall. And so, yeah, that's where I got it right there. I never really saw that photo until after my mom died. That was one of the things I inherited from her was all her photos from that side of the family. Hey, Yvonne. Yeah, I have another picture of him up on the wall. I think it's right there on the wall. You can really tell how tall he is in that picture. And probably the interest was he was having is I ain't changing him. I don't know what he did for a living. He might have. I know that one of the someone back in that point ran a store. He may have done that. I don't remember though. I'd have to look that up. Wow. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I don't remember. I mean, they were both pretty old when my mom and her brother were just kids. So, I don't know. There must have been someone that happened really late in life, and I don't remember exactly how long it was, how long they lived. I'd have to look that up too. I got that. I got that in the archives somewhere. I think that picture said it was 1945. Wow. Yeah, exactly. End of the war. I don't know. I got to figure out what this is, what this weekend's going to look like. It's going to be, this is my long weekend. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. Might do some work out in the yard. I kind of want to get going on that again. That's lingered a little too long. And now that I got all the sprinkler plumbing rerouted, I want to start getting those stones put into place. Maybe go over to Home Depot, buy another 20 bricks or something like that. It's really the only way to get a good circle. If you want to have a perfect circle, you can try and eyeball it, but you'll never hit it. And I mean, it looks great. You know, the half I've done so far looks good. And of course, once I get the first layer of bricks down, then I can pull that center point out and get rid of the piece of PVC. Then we're done. What are you looking at? Huh? You're just wondering where are the pets? I'm here purring and you're not petting, not keeping up your end of the bargain. All right, am I? Huh? No, can't let that happen. Let's get all the used fur off of here because you're kind of a used fur kind of guy, aren't you? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing this morning. It's like, oh, that's number three. I don't even know. I don't think the president was even there, but it doesn't matter. You know, what would be the point of breaking into Mar-a-Lago with a gun if not to do something like that? At least this one was stupid enough to get caught. You think you can break into Mar-a-Lago and the Secret Service aren't going to figure it out? Yeah, these people aren't very smart. Combination of all these crazed leftists trying to shoot the president and the rest of them, getting deported. You know, there aren't going to be any votes at all for the Democrats. And boy, is Mount Mondami crashing and burning. We're less than 2 months into that, and they already want to tar and feather the guy. Yeah, I heard something about that, Janine. You need ID to to help them shovel snow, but not to vote. That's crazy. I heard another funny contradiction when when the Democrats were voting down that idea of requiring ID to vote. They had to produce ID for them to vote. If you want to know why the camera is shaking, is because Bike keeps rubbing up against the side of the laptop here, aren't you? Yeah, it's all your fault, man. Get myself framed up a little better. There we go. There he goes again. Actually, I didn't bring my cell phone over here. Hang on, let me get my cell phone. I knew there was something I forgot. Yeah, there's supposedly some nor'easter coming in. That should be on the radar. Oy. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh yeah. Yeah, basically Virginia up is really getting pounded. Look at that. Look at all that going on offshore there too. A lot of snow and rain. I'm sure Mondami learned his lesson though. He'll have that cleaned up perfectly this time. I was hearing it was supposed to like snow there for until like tomorrow. So there may be like, you know, 15 to 24 inches of snow, something crazy like that. Yeah, I just think we need to put a big wall around New York because this guy's going to drive everybody out, and they're going to go to other states, and they're not going to learn their lesson. They're going to continue voting for the same nonsense again. You got cat fur all over the chair there, Bite. Yeah, back for more. Well, the video has actually changed quite a bit now since it was original. Sorry, I got cat fur all over my nose here. The video has changed a little bit now because it's turning into a PowerPoint presentation. Because it turns out the company I work for is going to go into another maintenance interval in a couple of weeks, and what starting on the last maintenance interval, they decided to do an all-day meeting, which was just kind of an off-site training session. Uh, Sorry, Catfer. And I'm doing a presentation, and since everybody already kind of knew about the video I was producing, yeah, I was told, okay, well, instead of doing a video, why don't you do it as a training session? And so it's now a PowerPoint presentation, and yeah, it's going along really well. I got a couple more scenes I want to, well, not shoot but reshoot, because there was just I wanted it, I wanted it to be perfect, and I kind of looked at it and it's like, yeah, and I want to do that one again, and I want to add this to that and all that. So, but it's come along great. I think I'll be doing it on the 17th of March is when the presentation is. So we're inside of a month now. But my boss's boss has looked at the video and he thinks I'm on a really good track with it. A couple other people have looked at it and they think I'm doing well with it. So yeah. In fact, my boss's boss looked at it and he says, "Oh man, I never knew how that was done before." It's St. Patrick's Day. I didn't know that. Shows what I know, huh? Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to see Jordan's Adam the Woo Grave visit. That would be my guess. Is it probably was just a family thing. That happens a lot, especially somebody of Adam's stature. Now you don't want to turn it into a circus and have a million people be there. And who knows how much of Adam's family knew about who his friends are too. I mean, it's not like everybody saw this coming and all of a sudden he was gone. No, I mean this was a big surprise. Oh, you're saying the video is okay. That would maybe make more sense. My presentation is St. Patrick's Day. I don't know. That's one of those holidays I don't follow that closely. Might have been that Jordan couldn't go too. Who knows? But he might have been out somewhere else doing a vlog at that time. Yeah, see that? Yeah, that's possibly what happened. I think I heard about the live stream in LA. I think I said it was in Garden Grove, right? It's an interesting place for it to be because that was where I grew up, was in Garden Grove. I don't know what Adam's connection to that was. I know he when he lived in California. I thought he lived in like Anaheim though, or something when he was there. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. It seemed to me I heard it was in Garden Grove, but I could be wrong. I know Jordan's very proud to be on that list of major vloggers. Morning, Susan. Yeah, I saw that billboard too. That was pretty cool. In his hometown, right? Well, they're slowly being transformed still, Susan. I did a couple more of them last weekend. It's going to be a multi-week project, but they're looking really well. I'm really good. I'm happy with how they look. Do you want to go see them? Let's go mobile here, and I'll take you and you can go look at them. See what I've done so far. Ugh. All right, here we go. Going mobile here. Let's turn on the light in here so we can see what's going on. So yeah, these are the cabinets here. I've already done the outside on all of these. I've also done this part, the stuff inside. So actually what I did is I painted inside and out so that they all look really nice. Haven't got everything back in there yet. And I'm putting like a shelf liner paper in here, just white stuff. So it just kind of blends in with the paint. But I think it looks really nice. I'm really happy with it. It's also given me a chance to adjust all these hinges and get the doors all nice and level and closing properly. And I put the new little rubber pads on them here so that they don't stick. So yeah, it's starting to look good. And I've done these over here, but I haven't done like this part of it yet. So these are completely undone. I've done this door. This was actually the first one I did, and still haven't done all of this stuff up here. Haven't done that one, but I've done these doors over here. So we're making progress. It's going to be a multi-week project, but a little bit at a time gets it done, and I'm kind of enjoying doing it. Probably the next part today is going to be doing all the rest of the cabinets. Got to finish up this door and paint the cabinets on the outside and on the inside. So we'll be doing some serious masking in there, but I think it's great. Coming along nicely. It's fun having little projects like that to work on. Okay, let's get ourselves all hooked up here again. There's power. Let's get the mouse plugged up here. And we're back. I hope. There we go. Yeah, I like them too. They look really great. Yeah, but other people aren't me, and I have no intention of ever moving again. I like this place. I'm happy with it. So I would still like to have them higher. And you know what? If it means a lower resale value at some point, that's not going to be my problem. I'll be dead and gone. It's all spray paint. Yeah, it looks nice because now it kind of matches because there's two colors in the kitchen. There's the yellow on the walls and the white on the frame and ceiling. So the crown molding is white and the ceiling is white, and now the cabinets are white, and they all kind of look like they belong together. It was a really bright colored kitchen, and those cabinets they just look dingy. So yeah, I'm glad I did that. It was a good decision. Long time coming. No, you just have to be real careful with spray paint. What you don't want to do is just in one place. You do, kind of sweeping motion and getting the even coverage. Yeah, I may go with different color appliances too. They have the old owners had kind of this brushed steel look, and that doesn't look too bad. I mean, I can't complain too much about it. And what's there does look nice with the colors I have. So, not that big a deal. And since I'm probably not going to replace all the appliances at once, it would probably be one of those things that, I'll just keep them matching. So stick with the brushed steel look. Only if I had to sit and replace everything might I consider doing something. Oh yeah, I have no doubt it would look real nice. Like I said, it's just a big expense to have to replace the refrigerator, the microwave, the range, the oven, and the dishwasher all at once. That would be a big expense. So what'll probably end up happening is it'll be one of those things that if I have to replace one thing, we'll stick with the theme because I don't really have that much of a problem with the color that's there for that. It was just the cabinets that were driving me crazy. Definitely saved a ton of money though. I'm figuring it's going to be $200 or $300 of spray paint versus thousands to replace the cabinets. Washer and dryer are kind of following the theme of the what's in the kitchen, kind of a brushed steel look. That's in another room though, so that's in the pantry, I guess you'd call it. It was originally the mud room, but I transformed it from that into a pantry. Yeah, the exit of the mud room goes into the garage. So the kitchen goes into the pantry slash mud room, and then from there into the garage. That's the way I come in and out of the house like 99% of the time because, I want to go somewhere. I go into the garage, open the garage, and drive the car out, and the car comes back into the garage, and that's how I come in. I have to stop and search for the front door key every time I come in the front door because I don't go, I think I've maybe, unlocked the front door from outside maybe half a dozen times in the entire time I've lived here. It just doesn't come up. I'm looking at maybe doing some sort of a security system here too. I mean, there isn't a lot of crime here, but I hate to admit it, but I think what's her name, Mary Guthrie. I don't think she's with us anymore. No, I haven't seen or heard from Rhonda in a couple of weeks. I think since she was last here, and that was what 3 or 4 weeks ago. I don't know. Nancy, okay. Well, my understanding is she has a heart condition and is on medication and stuff like that. So I really seriously doubt they considered that when they kidnapped her and took her meds along with her. And considering how hot that case became, it became a national case. Everybody's looking at it. I don't even know if I'd dump her in the desert. I'd bury her or something like that because, eventually a body that's, just dumped in the desert will be found. Yeah, I fear that's probably the case, Gene. It's a high profile case, John. I mean, sometimes that's what happens. Wow. Hey, Jeff. Yeah, the sheriff seems like he's an idiot. Look who's back. Yeah, Bike came up to say hi, Jeff. Meow. Ow. Don't lunge at it like that, dude. I like my fingers. I've grown accustomed to my fingers. How would you like it if I bit your fingers, huh? Got to keep a safe distance from those chompers. And after all that, you drop it anyway. Wow, thanks, Jeff. Appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. You're gonna get fat, Bite. You know that, right? Yeah, you're already fat enough as it is, aren't you? Ow! You did it again, dude. Come on. That's it. I ain't gonna give you any more. You can't control those teeth. That's too much. That hurts. You wouldn't like it if I bit you. Yeah, I know. Revenge of the Cat. I don't know what you're getting revenge on. Are you getting revenge on from me taking you in when you were a baby? When you were living outside eating bugs? Giving you a warm place to live? Feeding you all the time? Giving you brushes? Giving you treats? I don't know. Yeah, you should turn your head. You should be ashamed. Yeah, land shark is true. It's supposed to get cold tonight, Jeff. I've actually went out and found Flash this morning and made sure she was in her box because we're supposed to dip below freezing. It's not going to be really substantial, so I don't think I'll have to, bring her in. But we'll definitely leave her in her box tonight. And like I said, it's one night. Tomorrow it's going to start warming up again, and then by Wednesday it's supposed to be in the mid 80s. So weather in Texas can't figure out what it wants to do. No more storms, though. No. Oh, I'll do just fine. Yeah, I got plenty of firewood. This house does really well in the cold. It's very, very well insulated. Remember a year or two ago, the power out went out and was out for like 2 days in the middle of summer, and it really took about a day and a half before the house became a little too warm. Well, Flash doesn't eat anything during when she's in hibernation mode. And it's probably a good thing too, because there's not really that much to eat out there. The grass kind of turns brown during the summer or during the winter, and then bounces back every spring. I've been in Florida. I know what the weather's like there. Some wild weather in Florida. Yeah, we don't seem to have any IKEAs around here, at least not that I'm aware of. I don't know. Let me just see where the nearest one is. Yeah, I guess they are all over the place. Looks like there's about six of them between like Austin and San Antonio, and they're up around Dallas Fort Worth area, but doesn't look like there's one for about 100 miles from here. Yeah, well, it does a lot of that in Florida, definitely. At the tone, the time will be 12 o'clock. Yeah, those IKEAs are kind of a maze. All right, have a good lunch, Jeff. What are you going to have? You always seem to go to interesting places to eat. Chinese food, huh? Okay. Have some good lunch, Jeff. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've seen a few ring cameras on doorbells. You can usually tell because they're usually lit up. See you, Jeff. Have a good lunch. I don't know if I'm going to go with ring or if I go with something else. I might even just do something internal rather than some subscription service. I don't know. I got to do a lot of research on it. Count out. There'll be a vlog about it if and when I do it. Knocked over the kitty treat jar here. But I got kind of a big, long porch in front of the house, and I've been thinking to put a camera in there. Probably one on this side of the house, pointed out to the street. One on that side of the house, pointed out to the street, just to kind of keep all my bases covered here. Well, I think what you get with a subscription is the ability to access the system through online. So you get like an alert if somebody comes to your door. And I might do something like that too, Gene, because yeah, that's the point. You want to keep it secret. Yeah, I know that Kara over at Gallery 11 has a system in the store. Yeah, that's what I thought. You get a notification if someone enters the house. because somebody I know at work has one in her house, and she's actually got cameras inside the house. So I see her every once in a while log onto the system, and she's looking at her dog or something like that, and talking to her dog. Got to be careful too. The vegetation can sometimes block the camera too, see, so you don't get to see what you want to see. Yeah, microphones too would be nice. But they got like several different models that are available. So I want to really research it so I get the right one for me. I got to admit, I haven't really been following the Nancy Guthrie thing that much. I mean, I hear what I hear, in the headlines and stuff like that. I think there's less of a risk of that here in Texas because people are always concerned that you're going to come in and be facing, looking down the barrel of a gun. It's like Matt's doing more driving videos. I do my share of driving videos too. Yeah, I want to do definitely do some stuff for in the garden this year. I mean, that last video I did was included a lot of that stuff. So, and it's good to have that light up in the tree again. The yard just doesn't look right in the front with that one light out. So glad I got that up. That was a good project. I hope so. Yeah, I mean, I lost a few things in the snow this year, so we'll have to see how that all works out. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid the ladder, and that was especially scary. So what I ended up ultimately doing is when I got up on the ladder, I used like a ratcheting strap, and I actually strapped the top of the ladder to the tree, so it was a little bit more stable. But yeah, I don't like being up on the ladder. Everything I'm doing right now is about trying to figure out how to not have to go up in the tree on the ladder. But that was necessary. I had to do that. Stupid squirrels had to chew my wires. And it probably means it'll happen again too. Problem is, I'm the Eagle Scout. Yeah, if I fell out of that tree, that's what they'd be saying about me too. The Eagles landed. I don't know. I mean, I've not. I mean, those wires have been up in that tree for, I think I did that like the first year I was here. I put those wires up, and the squirrels pretty much stayed away from it. It's just recently. But it's funny too because I had some lights strung out to the tree in the backyard, and the squirrels chewed through that. And this year or next year, I'm gonna have to replace one of the strings of Christmas lights because on the last couple of days that the Christmas lights were up, the squirrels bit through one of the wires on that too. So I don't know. Maybe they're just getting more of a taste for high voltage here. I think one way to squirrel proof it though would be to leave those lights on all the time. You'd get a real surprise when they went through the wire then. Even those low voltage lights out there, that's still AC. I don't know. We'll figure that out. If it becomes a recurring problem, I'll definitely have to do something about it. Lately, it's just been kind of a random thing. I will officially admit that I squirrel proofed the bird feeder. Remember, I did a video about that a couple years ago, and I have not seen a squirrel on that bird feeder since. And there's no reason for them to go on to that anyway. I put food for the squirrels on the ground. The little postcards you got in the mail, I get those too. I think that's just confirming that you are registered to vote. Yeah, all you have to do for voting is just go to your polling place and show your ID. I've never done anything with those cards, and I get those too. change to a different angle here. Okay, there we go. Try that for a minute or two here. Kind of windy outside. I see the bushes out in the front yard kind of waving in the breeze. Got really quiet in here all of a sudden. Need Rhonda in here to keep the conversation going. My understanding is that will come out on Paramount Plus at some point, and I'll watch it then. I haven't been to a movie theater in years. But yeah, it's supposed to be on Paramount as I understand it. I don't know. They seem to be a really devoted couple. She seems to worship him, and he seems to worship her. So, just saying. think that means it's 12:30. Yeah, I'll wait until I can stream it too. It's too expensive to go to movie theaters. That's just to get in. The thing about streaming it at home is the refreshments are free. You can pause it whenever you want to use the restroom or whatever. Or maybe that's 12:30. Who knows? And actually, the clock on the computer says it's 12:29. So I don't know. You know what they say: a person with a clock knows what time it is. A person with two clocks is never quite sure. Hey, La Claros, welcome back. Long time. It's fun when people haven't been here for a while pop in every once in a while. Haven't really been following the Olympics. I think a lot of that has to, comes from the fact that I don't have a TV anymore, or I don't watch TV. I don't subscribe to cable or anything like that. I'm kind of stuck in the movies and in my movies and my streaming and the internet, and that's about it. Is it freezing up, or is it just that you're maybe behind the time? Because a lot of times what happens is if you're watching ads and stuff like that, that you'll end up, it pauses the video when the ad comes on. So if you pause the video uh, and run a 30-second ad and then it resumes, now you're 30 seconds behind. And depending on how many ads you've seen, you might be a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes behind. Well, I'm always going for weird, but I don't know what was weird this time. I'm the king of weird, but that's a good thing. Oh, that is weird. Well, also, if you're maybe not getting a solid stream and the video is pausing every once in a while and then resuming, you might also be, uh, a minute or so behind, depending on how much lag there is. Yeah, they're had the Muslims are hacking the channel here. YouTube seems to have some problems. Jordan was talking to me last night. One of his videos got jacked up, but I was able to download it and it was fine. So I don't know. Not a lot of crime here, Susan. Oh, see, that's YouTube tampering with things here. They don't like the idea of us voting because we don't vote right. Yeah, I've never heard of a live stream glitching and then going back to the beginning. That's weird. I don't know. I guess everything can happen. Well, let's start what's going on now. YouTube is recording it, and then we'll be able to play it back. When I make it go live tomorrow. Usually, what I do is immediately after the live stream, I move it to private. So, uh, what'll end up happening then is that'll allow YouTube to, process the video, get it rendered out at a high quality, and then when I make it live tomorrow, then it'll be full quality. You can watch it then. What question did you ask, Gene? Is that about the voter card? sometimes causes confusion too, because somebody might be, a couple minutes behind the times, behind the live stream, and asking a question about something we talked about minutes ago. That can make it a little confusing at times. I don't rewatch my live streams. There's been a couple of videos that I've done that I've watched a couple times. Ones that I'm particularly proud of. Yeah, the question about the voter registration card, I didn't do anything with it. I've gotten them too, and what I ended up doing is I just go to my polling place and show them my ID, and we're good to go. So I'm not sure what the cards are either. They make it look like you have to do something with it, but I've never done anything with mine. Hello, Gene. Well, that's a good thing. You want to be active as a voter. Got to overwhelm all the inactive people that vote. Yeah, we got a vote coming up in a couple of weeks here in Texas, and I'm definitely going to go out and do my part. And then, yes, I'm very motivated to vote for the in the midterms. We got to hold the line. We got a crazy named Jasmine Crockett that wants to run in Texas as a senator. Yeah, that would be a disaster. But she's her own worst enemy. Just listen to her talk. Yeah, that decision seemed a little odd to me too. That's why I laugh when people say, it's a conservative majority. No, there's like two, maybe three solid conservatives. There's three crazy liberals, and then there's three of them that you can't predict what they're going to do. They don't seem to be moored by reality. Yeah, yes, it would, John. Because if the Democrats gain the majority, they're going to spend the whole second 2 years of Trump's term trying to impeach him and trying to block everything he does. Yeah, Hakeem Jeffries is definitely an idiot. There's a lot of them on that side. They're all just trying to out crazy the other one. Yeah, I haven't really paid that much attention to her to know where she's from. I just know she's bad for whoever she is running for. You know, whatever election she's running for, she'll be the wrong person for that. Yeah, we're coming up on a maintenance interval in a couple weeks. Let's see, I think it starts what the yeah, it starts the 7th and it goes through the 21st. No, I don't think we have any of that running in Texas yet. Not that I'm aware of. No, I don't get paid for the days off. Well, what I'll end up doing is taking I end up taking vacation time. But I don't know how much vacation time there's actually going to be because the second week of the shutdown, I got to be there every day, even on the days that I'm normally off of work. And then I might have to be there a day or two during the first week also because there got to be some sort of supervision there while there's people there. He's always inebriated. I mean, the truth is, he's just got stuffing in his head anyway. So, yeah, his eyes look all weird, like they're all off center or something like that. I don't know. There we go. He's standing now. I don't know. I never really gave him a name. Yeah, he does kind of have creepy eyes, doesn't he? I'm staring at you. And it almost looks like, oh yeah, that eye is almost coming off. I'm gonna have to. That's why it looks a little weird because this eye is kind of coming off. I'm gonna have to reattach that at some point. It's funny. The person that gave it to me would probably be surprised to know that he's a guest star on every one of my live streams. He does sort of have Marty Feldman eyes. Ed McMahon. That's a good one. Hi-oh. I don't know. He doesn't eat a lot, so I don't. I think it'd be kind of a waste to give him treats. The eyes make him look like he's stoned. Maybe he would like treats. Probably got the munchies. I haven't made contact with her in years and years and years. She was somebody I knew when I worked at DMI. She was in the department I was in. Munchie McCann, Evan McCann. It's not going to be a flower bed, Debbie. I'm going to put fruit trees in there. Although there'll probably be smaller stuff in there also, because there's going to be a lot of room in there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be nice. That's going to be a long-term project, though. That's going to take a long time to finish. But that's cool. I got time. It depends on what's out there. I got to find something that's going to do well here. But I wouldn't mind having a peach tree, maybe an orange tree. Depends on how they'll do. I got to find something that's going to do well. It's going to probably be the same kind of stuff I've done in the past, John. Probably tomatoes in the one planter and jalapeno peppers or something in the other. But I don't know. I'm open to what they have, and we'll see what's available. It's just good to know that the garden's ready now. I got to do is plant. I almost wonder if he knew he was dying and that was maybe the reason he reached out. He wanted to talk to you one last time. That's sort of how it sounds. That's how I'd kind of read that. I don't know what kind of a connection you had with him in the past, but yeah, and it's kind of a very it's kind of a soothing hobby too. It's kind of fun to do. And I had such a good crop of tomatoes last year. What with me creating that elevated trellis thing, and that I'll definitely do that. And I want to do big tomatoes this year. You know, it's not going to be these little tiny tomatoes. I want a bunch of big tomatoes this year. So, and I think that in the space I'm told that I shouldn't have any more than like 8 plants in there. But last year I had, because of that trellis thing, or 2 years ago, I guess I didn't do anything last year. 2 years ago, I had 27 plants in there, so I got a massive um, crop last year. So it'd be nice to do that with tomatoes. Yeah, that was weird that one just expanded outward and blew the end off. But that made it really easy to fix. The other two were accidents, I think, with a weed whacker. The ones in the garden were the weed whacker. Yeah, yeah. Okra definitely did really well. I'm not enough of a fan of okra though to do that again. So you know, it was fun, but no. I'll order okra from time to time in a restaurant, and then they can deal with it. Because yeah, I mean those plants, they were 8 or 9 feet tall, and they'd produce, each one of them would produce three or four okra fruit or okra, whatever you call them, okras, every couple days. So I was like out there every day, harvesting okra. In fact, I still have okra in the freezer. That just shows how infrequently I do it. Another problem you run into with okra is that if you leave it on the plant too long, it gets hard and really hard to, to eat and all that. It's tough. And I may do something like that too in my planner, Debbie, is, put something, pretty ground cover or something in there. Like I said, there's going to be a huge, huge amount of space because this thing's going to be larger than the swimming pool was. It's going to be like 28 feet in diameter. And so there's going to be a lot of room there for stuff. And I want to kind of keep it in quadrants. So every one of the sections will be different. Beyond that, I don't really know what I want to put in there. Yeah, I just passed 2 years of losing my mom. She went right before Christmas a couple years ago. And we're going to have to do some planning in the yard because the ice storm that we had a couple weeks ago took out a few things that I had. In fact, that would probably one of those regions would be a great place for some bluebonnets. I tried bluebonnets 1 year in the back corner there, but there just not wasn't enough sunlight from bluebonnets are sun lovers, so they do really well in that kind of environment. And just wasn't enough there, but there's plenty of sunlight in the area. This thing's going to be coming up on 6 years, John. That will always be tied to my work because the the day after he died was the day I went to my first day at work. So, and I'm coming up on my 6 year anniversary. I hit 5 last year. I know it's hard to believe it's been almost 6 years. Yeah, it'll be 6 years in like a week and a half. I think it was March 1st he went. He would have loved Texas, come and visit me here. I wish he could have. I don't know. We'll play it by ear, see what happens. Usually I end up burning up a lot of my vacation during these maintenance intervals. And since it looks like I'm going to be working a lot of those days, maybe I'll have some vacation and maybe have to uh, do something else at some other point. Yeah, I'm about to wind down too, Yvonne. So that usually happens about this time. In the mood for a little nap, I think. So probably do that. Do that more when I get old here. Yeah, I think that's good advice, Susan. We put in the 2 hours, so I'm going to pull the plug on this one. We'll pick us up again next week and continue with the excitement. Thanks, everyone. I had a good time today. Good night.